What's up guys, Mixology Matt here, your favorite Toronto mixologist. Today we are making the Espresso Martini. As an Italian, espresso runs through my veins, so I'm always looking for another way to get espresso in my cocktails. That's exactly why I'm going to show you how to make the perfect Espresso Martini, common mistakes that you might see, how to make it your own, and my personal favorite variation. Get those coffee machines running, and let's get it. Now it's time to make our Espresso Martini. If you were to Google an Espresso Martini recipe, everyone's is going to be slightly different. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm Italian, so we're going to be using coffee from Fiamma, only the top quality Italian beans. I go 2 ounces of espresso in my Espresso Martinis. Others might lean more on the spirit side. I lean more on the espresso side. One important factor when you're making your Espresso Martini: let the espresso come to room temperature. It's not piping hot. If it was, it can just cause our ice to melt much faster, and that is actually one of the common mistakes. For our spirit, we're using Belvedere vodka. Vodka is the traditional spirit to use when making an Espresso Martini. We are going to be using 1.5 ounces of our Belvedere vodka. One of the most important ingredients is going to be our coffee liqueur, because it's going to determine the sweetness level of our Espresso Martini and whether or not we have to modify for it. For our recipe today, we are using Last Straw Distillery's Cafe Fresca. It's actually made from rum, not a neutral spirit. So it's a really amazing coffee liqueur. I always believe in supporting local. Highly recommend checking these guys out. Now we're going to use about 1 ounce of our coffee liqueur. Because this coffee liqueur is not super sweet, we could add some simple syrup to sweeten this up. However, I like my Espresso Martinis a little bit on the drier side, so I'm not going to add any additional sugar. Now it's time to close it up and give this a really hard shake. If you want the perfect foam, you have to really shake vigorously. I'm going to give this a nice tap to create our seal. Let's go. Now that we've shaken our Espresso Martini, we'll have a beautiful frothy texture. Let's get our chilled coupe glass ready. We're gonna double strain, of course. The pour, beautiful, amazing. That is our Espresso Martini. Now, for our garnish, instead of using 3 coffee beans, which is very traditional, I'm actually gonna use a lemon coin. The lemon oils expressed over the top are gonna really brighten up our espresso and give a nice long finish and aroma for our Espresso Martini. So we're going to express the oils right on top and give it a nice rub all around the sides. And we're going to take our coin and put it right on the side here. And there you have it. That is our classic Espresso Martini. It is a classic for a reason. Great way to impress a friend. Great way to get you laid. Can't miss. Here are my top common mistakes when making an Espresso Martini. Number 1. When you make an Espresso Martini, don't take espresso right off the machine. You don't want it to be piping hot. As soon as you put it into that shaker with ice, it's gonna melt the ice before you even start shaking. No one wants a watery Espresso Martini. Number 2, don't sleep on the coffee liqueur. The coffee liqueur is super important, whether you use a brand like Kahlua or a local brand. It is gonna determine whether or not you need to add any sweetness. Mistake number 3, not using good quality espresso beans. Regular drip coffee is not going to cut it. Cold brew is not going to cut it. The only exception is cold brew concentrate. Use good espresso. It's going to make the world of a difference. Common mistake number 4. Irish cream is not coffee liqueur. As much as Bailey's can make a pretty good coffee beverage, it's not the same as coffee liqueur. I've seen a lot of people sub it out or serve their default Espresso Martini with Bailey's. It's just not the same. It's a variation, but that is something to be considered when you are making an Espresso Martini. We are doing a variation of an Espresso Martini. I call this Espresso con Cacao. We're using some Mexican flavors. We got tequila, we got some chilies, we got some chocolate. It's a very unique take. If you've never had a tequila Espresso Martini, today is the day. To start, we have our Italian espresso. As always, 2 ounces of espresso. Let's get that caffeine rolling. And for the star of the show, we have our Tequila Blanco. This is Cashcoin. It's an incredible tequila. I highly recommend picking it up. It's a bit more of a harder find, so if you do see it, grab a bottle. You won't regret it. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of our tequila. It would not be an espresso martini without our coffee liqueur. This is Last Straw's Cafe Fresca. We're gonna do about 1/2 ounce here. Our final spirit of choice here, this is McGuinness Creme de Cacao. It is very sweet, so I would say about 1/2 ounce to max 3/4 ounce. I'm gonna put 1/2 ounce just because I don't like my espresso martinis as sweet. 1/2 ounce of our Creme de Cacao. One of my secret ingredients is a Mexican chile tincture. It uses chile de arbol, guajillo chilies, and pasilla chilies. It's a tri-blend of Mexican chilies. We're gonna do about 3 to 5 drops here. And of course, we've got our saline solution. This is gonna help brighten up those flavors. 2 drops is all we need for our cocktail. Here we go. Give it a nice tap, make that seal. Oh, look at that nice froth. Amazing. For our garnish, I have a little bit of cocoa powder that we're gonna do right on top. I'm just gonna cover one side of it. And there you have it. That is my espresso con cacao. The tequila flavors are really gonna shine. The chile, the chocolate, definitely an ode to Mexican flavors here. Highly recommend giving it a go. Promise you won't regret it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, I'm Mixology Matt. I don't make drinks, I make smiles. Cheers.